Alright, what is up? This opening I'm going to be really excited about actually. This is the 2009 Topps AAF, or Alliance of American Football box. If they, 8 teams within the AAF. And Topps was the only card company I saw actually printing cards for the AAF. I usually don't collect really Topps cards. Mostly it's just Upper Deck and Panini for sports cards, and then sometimes like Fleer and Skybox because those are owned by Upper Deck now. But with this, it's yeah, only printed by Topps from what I've seen. And for those of you who don't know what the AAF is, it's basically like a second football league, a spring football league that was supposed to be kind of congruent with the NFL. What the founders of the AAF have said on like record is that the AAF was meant to basically take players that weren't good enough to get in the NFL, or got passed over by the NFL, and give them a second chance to be able to play football and try to prove themselves so that they could actually get signed by the NFL. So the AAF, these players like get paid considerably less than the NFL, obviously, um, but there's still a chance for them to play football. And as of right now, ooh, that's a nice looking pack actually. I like the look of that pack. As of right now, actually, the AAF has already ended their first inaugural season, 2 weeks early, I think it is, and they haven't even done a playoff. And also, as of right now, there have been 45 players that have been signed from the AAF to the NFL for various reasons. The biggest is that right now it's kind of a huge time for teams to be signing, NFL teams to be signing players, because the AAF players, they're much cheaper than anybody on the free agent market for players that have like not signed with any teams in the NFL. So teams can kind of fill in their rosters that way with cheap players. But most of those 45 players, a lot of them aren't actually going to make the 53-man rosters for the NFL teams. But it's still interesting seeing them getting signed and having the chance to make rosters. And there are a few of them that very well could not only make rosters, but possibly get playing time and maybe even get a starting position. So I'll go over those players if we come onto them at all, or if we find them. With only 8 teams, there's a pretty good chance that we get a lot of players. Michael Dunn, he signed with a team. A lot of linemen ended up signing with teams. All right, so no one too big in that pack. I've actually got 2 of these boxes too, so depending on whether I open up the other boxes, if I like the pulls that we get out of this pack. So they actually have coaches in here too within these packs. Trey Williams, Troy Polamalu. I think he was, well, I guess he must have been a coach for some of the team. I know Vic Young was a coach, or no, he was an offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Legends. Okay, here's one, is Christian Hackenberg. He was obviously a big kind of name in the NFL for kind of not succeeding what his expectations were, being a second-round pick by the Jets. I think, yeah, Christian Hackenberg was originally the starting quarterback for the Memphis Express at the beginning of the year, and ended up losing that starting job to Zach Mettenberger, which Zach Mettenberger ended up losing that job to Brandon Silvers, I think. Yeah, the Memphis Express did not have very good quarterbacks. There's Brandon Silvers right there, who eventually got to be the Memphis Express starting quarterback. He actually got signed with an NFL team too. I believe the Jets signed him. Oh, J.C. Hasenberg. So this was a center for the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2017, and I think that was the year that they won national championship. He didn't get drafted. He played center and guard both, so he went to the AAF for this year in 2019, and actually the Steelers just signed him. And then Nick Novak, he's an ex Chargers kicker. He was with the Chargers for quite a few years, and then once he got released by the Chargers, kind of had a difficulty finding another NFL team to play for, so played in the AAF. John Wolford. He signed with the team, I believe. He was the QB for the Hot Shots. Trent Richardson, probably the biggest name in the AAF, other than like Johnny Manziel, which Johnny Manziel is not going to be in these packs because he joined the AAF after these cards were printed. But yeah, Trent Richardson, he did well as far as like getting rushing touchdowns for the Brigham Iron in the AAF, but his rushing stats, other than really touchdowns, are pretty poor. But yeah, he was definitely probably the biggest name within the AAF, and actually he has not signed with an NFL team as of yet. And there have been other running backs within the AAF that have signed. I think like 2 other running backs have signed with NFL teams. Cameron Kelly, that name sounds familiar. Oh, there's Steve Spurrier. That's kind of cool to get a Steve Spurrier card. So Steve Spurrier is kind of like a legend within football. He won the Heisman Trophy at Florida, won a national championship as the Florida quarterback. Just completely flopped in the NFL. He was like a top 5 pick. I think he was like a number 2 overall pick by the Buccaneers in this first round. Completely flopped. Did horrible as a player. Went back to coaching. Coached for the Florida Gators. And won a national championship both as a player and a coach for the Florida Gators. Then coached with the South Carolina Gamecocks after losing his Florida Gators head coach job. And now he had spent last year as the coach for the Orlando Apollos, which was the best AAF team. They had the best record at 7-1. Alex Barrett, that was a pretty good defensive end within the AAF. He signed with the team, and he actually has a decent shot of being able to get some play time. Alright, so no one too special in that pack, it didn't look like. Zach Stacy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he signed with the team. I can't remember, maybe not. Oh no, it was this guy, Kenneth Farlow, that's right. He was the one that signed with the NFL team, one of the running backs. It was like only 2 running backs, I think, that have signed with NFL teams, and he was one of them. And then here's one of our autograph cards, John Wolford. That's actually not too bad of an autograph to get. He actually signed with an NFL team, too. I can't remember which one. I think it was the Rams, but I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, you do get, I think, a couple autographs. It doesn't say how many, I don't think, but there are autographs within these packs. So here it is. Congratulations, you have received a Topps autograph card of John Wolford from the 2019 Topps Alliance of American Football. So that's pretty good. That's a good autograph to get. A quarterback that's already signed with an NFL team and has a chance to maybe make something of himself in the NFL. It's kind of unfortunate they used like just like a him in casual dress picture, not one with him suited up. I'm not sure why they did that with some of the players. They're just basically like in workout equipment or on-field coat instead of them actually being like suited up. Matt Sims here. He actually won the starting job for the Atlanta Legends and did okay, but he ended up getting benched for Aaron Murray. And then at that time, the Atlanta Legends started actually doing quite well. And so a lot of people kind of figured that it was kind of Aaron Murray that was the one that turned their team around, because I think it wasn't until Aaron Murray started that they won their first game. So they were like 0-4 with Matt Sims. A lot of that was also because the Atlanta Legends, they lost their coach before the season even started. I think Brad Childress was supposed to be their head coach. And yeah, a lot of their games that they played were just really sloppy. Here's a really good player too, is Rashad Ross. I believe he led the AAF in receiving yards. Was probably one of the best receivers within the AAF. Only downside really is kind of his size. He's a little bit smaller than what you would like to see out of a wide receiver, but he's already signed with the NFL team. So we're going to see if he's going to be able to get to use those talents within the NFL, because he did quite well in the AAF considering the number of receptions and receiving yards and everything he was able to rack up. Hines Ward, I guess he was another coach. I know that the AAF was also using a lot of big name NFL players, retired NFL players as coaches and offensive coordinators and such. So we got Josh Woodrum here, another QB. Garrett Gilbert, he's another QB. He was with the Apollos, another Trent Richardson card. Yeah, he was with the Apollos and probably the best quarterback within the AAF. He signed with the Cleveland Browns, so chances of him getting playing time are pretty slim to none unless Baker Mayfield gets injured or something happens to Baker Mayfield. And even then, he's still got other players that he's going to have to beat out on the roster or even just make the team for. But he was probably by far the best quarterback within the AAF and looked quite well. He was one of the players that actually looked like he could have an opportunity to play in the NFL or get some playing time. He's probably one of the more likely players to make the roster. But he looked really good playing with the Orlando Apollos, partly just because they won so many games. Oh, he signed with a team too. The Monterey Pierson-El. I remember his last name because of the hyphen with the L. He's a wide receiver. I can't remember which team he signed with, though, but he signed with an NFL team. Denard Robinson. I'm a big Michigan fan, obviously, for those of you who don't know. So it was cool seeing Denard Robinson getting to play football again. Unfortunately, he did pretty terrible for the Atlanta Legends. He just didn't do that great and didn't see a whole lot of playing time. He hasn't signed with an NFL team and more than likely isn't going to. But it was really cool to see him get play again. And it's really cool to get his Atlanta Legends football card. And then here's Zach Mettenberger. And John Wolford. Ooh, they did numbers for these cards. This is a numbered card. So if you can see right here in the bottom left-hand corner, it is numbered here. It says 38 out of 99. So I didn't expect Topps to do numbered cards for this. That's interesting. And you can also see that the edges of the card is different. It's got that red to it instead of just like the normal white. So that's a numbered card out of the packs here. That's really cool. I'm not really going to explain I guess I'll explain it real quick. The numbers here, what sports card printing companies will do is number their cards. So this is number 38 out of 99, and then they'll do out of 99, and then out of 75, and then out of 50, and then out of 25, and then out of 15, 10, 5, and then you'll get 1 of 1. And a lot of times they'll also be autographed along with numbered, or they'll just be numbered. So this one's only numbered, it's not autographed, but that's still pretty cool. And again, it was another QB, so that's one of the more desirable ones to get of a QB that signed with an NFL team. I think there was 5 or 6 QBs that signed with NFL teams. It was a lot of QBs signed for whatever reason. But yeah, that does it for this opening. I think I'm just gonna leave it there at that one box and keep the other one sealed, and kind of nice looking box to look at. Because who knows if the AAF is even gonna have another season? So. Yeah, that was a really cool opening. I liked it. And then, best card is probably this autographed John Wolford, along with, wasn't that he our numbered card too? That would be kind of funny if he was both our autograph and our numbered. Yep, he was. All right. I wonder why they used different pictures. Because I would have rather had this picture be autographed than this one, but that's just my personal preference. But that's funny that he was both our numbered and our autograph card. So that'll do it for this video. And as always, thank you for watching.